The Oval Office, May 6, 2025. The air is thick with anticipation, the weight of history pressing in on the room. Outside, the world watches, waiting for the outcome of a meeting that could reshape the continent. President Donald Trump faces Canada's new Prime Minister Mark Carney. Both men are seasoned negotiators, but today, the stakes are higher than ever before. Trump, ever the dealmaker, floats the idea of the U.S. acquiring Canada, calling it the potential 51st state. His words are bold, even brash, echoing through the halls of power and across the border. Many Canadians are outraged, seeing it as an affront to their sovereignty. Protests erupt in cities from Vancouver to Halifax, voices united in defiance, waving flags and demanding respect. Carney, calm and resolute, looks Trump in the eye. He knows the world is watching and that his response will define his leadership. "Canada is not for sale," Carney declares, his voice unwavering. The words ring out not just as a statement but as a promise to his people. And it won't be for sale, ever. His conviction is unmistakable, drawing a clear boundary that cannot be crossed. The room falls silent. This is no ordinary diplomatic visit. Every eye in the room is fixed on Carney, the tension palpable, as if the very future of two nations hangs in the balance. Carney's words are a clear line in the snow, a new, assertive chapter for Canada-US relations. The symbolic divide is unmistakable, a message to friend and foe alike. He demands Trump stop referring to Canada as the 51st state, making it clear that sovereignty is not up for negotiation. The message is direct, leaving no room for misinterpretation. The statement shocks the room, breaking from the usual Canadian deference. Diplomats exchange glances, realizing the conversation has shifted irreversibly. Carney's message resonates at home. Some things are beyond price, and national identity is one of them. Across the country, Canadians feel a surge of pride, reminded of what unites them. The meeting is no longer about trade or policy. It's about respect and sovereignty. The tone has changed, and the world is watching closely. The world takes notice. Canada is standing tall, its voice clear and unwavering on the global stage. In this moment, a new chapter in North American history is being written. President Trump, unaccustomed to such open defiance from a close ally, is momentarily stunned. The room falls silent as he processes the unexpected pushback, his expression shifting from surprise to calculation. For a leader used to dominating the conversation, this rare moment of vulnerability is striking, and it doesn't go unnoticed by those in attendance. Recovering quickly, Trump flashes a trademark grin and backtracks, insisting he wasn't serious about buying Canada, unless, he jokes, someone actually wants to talk. The press corps laughs, but the ambiguity lingers. Trump's offhand remarks, often dismissed as bluster, have a way of keeping everyone guessing about his true intentions. "Never say never," he adds with a wink, leaving the door wide open for speculation. Reporters murmur, unsure if he's being playful or planting the seeds for something more. The uncertainty is classic Trump, always keeping his audience and his opponents off balance. The conversation soon shifts to the more serious topic of trade. Trump stands firm on the 25% tariff on Canadian goods, a policy that has already strained relations between the two countries. He argues that tough measures are necessary to protect American industries and jobs, repeating familiar talking points about unfair trade deals. Nothing Carney says will change his mind. America first remains his mantra. Trump's resolve is unwavering, and he makes it clear that he won't back down no matter how persuasive the Canadian arguments may be. In fact, Trump even claims credit for Carney's rise, telling the press, "I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him." It's a bold statement, but one that fits Trump's style, always seeking to position himself at the center of the story, even when the spotlight is shared. He reframes Carney's resistance as proof of his own influence, suggesting that the Canadian leader's assertiveness is a direct response to his own tough negotiating tactics. For Trump, even opposition becomes a testament to his power. For Americans, it's classic Trump, unpredictable, combative, and always in control of the narrative. For Canadians, it's a reminder of why Carney's assertiveness matters so much. The stakes are high, and both sides know that the outcome will shape the future of their relationship. The exchange sets the tone for what's to come, a relationship defined by tough talk, tougher policies, and a constant battle for leverage. Every gesture, every word, is scrutinized for deeper meaning. Both leaders dig in, signaling a turbulent road ahead. Neither is willing to show weakness, and compromise seems a distant possibility. The world watches as North America's partnership is put to the test, with allies and rivals alike wondering who will blink first. and what the consequences will be for the global order. Mark Carney's path to prime minister was swift, dramatic, and caught nearly everyone by surprise. Once known primarily as a central banker and financial expert, Carney had long been respected in international circles, but few expected him to step so decisively into the political spotlight. In January 2025, Justin Trudeau resigns amid plummeting polls, mounting scandals, and chaos within the Liberal Party. The country is left reeling, with many questioning the future of Canadian leadership and the party's ability to recover. Desperate for stability and a unifying figure, the Liberals turned to Carney. As a respected former governor of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, he's seen as someone who can restore credibility, unite the fractured party, and mount a serious challenge to the surging Conservatives. Carney, a technocrat with a reputation for calm under pressure, takes the helm in March. Wasting no time, he calls a snap April election, betting that Canadians are hungry for change and decisive leadership. His campaign slogan, "Elbows up," borrows from hockey, promising to stand firm and push back against outside pressure, especially from Donald Trump in the United States. The phrase quickly becomes a rallying cry. Canadians, tired of feeling bullied by their southern neighbor and eager for a leader who will defend their interests, rally behind Carney's message of defiance and national pride. His campaign events draw unexpectedly large and enthusiastic crowds. He pledges not just to manage U.S. relations, but to reset them entirely, insisting that Canada will no longer be pushed around on trade, security, or climate policy. Carney's global reputation, his experience on the world stage, and his tough talk give him instant credibility. Allies and rivals alike take notice as he promises a new era for Canada. The election quickly becomes a referendum on who can stand up to Trump and defend Canada's interests. The stakes feel higher than ever. Carney's message is clear and unwavering. Canada's dignity is not negotiable. He promises to restore respect and assertiveness on the world stage. Voters respond in droves, seeing him as the architect of a new Canadian resistance and a symbol of hope for a more independent future. The stage is set for a dramatic shift in Canada's posture, one that could redefine the nation's role in the world for years to come. Elbows Up becomes more than a slogan, it's a rallying cry. Carney confronts Trump directly, rejecting the 51st state rhetoric and promising retaliatory tariffs if U.S. tariffs persist. This boldness puts Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre on the defensive, making his Trump-like style seem like imitation. The Liberals surge in the polls as Carney offers progressive values with newfound strength. The election shifts from left versus right to a question of who will defend Canada's place in the world. Carney frames the ballot, who is best equipped to stand up for Canada. The result, a stunning Liberal majority. Canadians endorse Carney's assertive approach. The hockey term galvanizes the nation, redefining its relationship with the U.S. Carney's victory is a mandate for strength and confidence. Canada's quiet dignity is replaced by open resolve. Carney's stand is more than political theater. It's a strategic shift for Canada's economy. Decades of deep U.S. integration left Canada vulnerable, as the 25% tariff painfully revealed. Carney calls for a fundamental reimagining, diversify, build resilience, and look beyond the American market. He urges Canadian businesses to forge new global partnerships, reducing reliance on the U.S. The looming 2026 USMCA review adds urgency, with Trump threatening further overhauls. Trump's rhetoric, "we don't need anything they have," underscores the risk. Carney's blueprint is both defense and offense: insulate from U.S. whims, and reposition Canada as a global middle power. The message: Canada must control its own economic destiny. The era of comfortable dependency is over. Strategic independence is the new national project. The trade war erupts on March 4, 2025, as Trump slaps a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods not covered by USMCA. The official reason: fentanyl and migrants, though data shows the real issue is protectionism. Carney responds swiftly, imposing retaliatory tariffs on key U.S. products. The tit-for-tat escalation hits industries and consumers on both sides. The conflict spreads. Trump proposes a 100% Hollywood tariff on foreign films, targeting Canada and others. Critics call it absurd, warning it will hurt American consumers and isolate the U.S. culturally. The trade war now spans timber, cars, and even movies. For Trump, tariffs are leverage. For Carney, retaliation is necessary. The integrated North American market hangs in the balance. Carney's victory isn't just about foreign policy. It's rooted in a bold domestic pivot. Trudeau's carbon tax had become deeply unpopular, fueling conservative attacks. Carney stuns observers by promising to end the consumer carbon tax, neutralizing his opponent's main weapon. This pragmatic move broadens his appeal, attracting centrist and right-leaning voters. But Carney doesn't abandon climate action. He shifts focus to industrial polluters, maintaining his green credentials. He argues Canada can meet climate goals without burdening ordinary citizens. The policy shift proves Carney is nimble and responsive to public concerns. By addressing affordability, he earns trust at home. This blend of international strength and domestic sensitivity powers his mandate. Despite the public clash, both Carney and Trump call their Oval Office meeting constructive. Beneath the surface, the reality is complex, deep ties, but deep disagreements. Trade talks loom, with little common ground and both sides entrenched. The upcoming G7 summit in Kananaskis, Alberta, will test whether the leaders can manage their disputes and collaborate globally. The world will watch. Will tension overshadow cooperation? The future partnership will be more transactional, defined by hard bargaining. The truce is uneasy, and the path forward is uncertain. Canada and the US are entering a new, more competitive era. Carney's stand marks a turning point in Canada-US relations. The era of polite deference is over. Canada asserts its sovereignty with clarity. For the US, this is a new challenge. Canada is no longer a passive partner. Carney's approach becomes a model for other nations facing America First policies. The future is uncertain. Can Canada diversify its economy and maintain a strong partnership? The relationship is being reforged through conflict and negotiation. The Kananaskis G7 and USMCA review will be critical moments. The Carney-Trump dynamic brings unpredictability but also conviction. Canadians and Americans must now see each other as distinct nations with shared interests and real differences. The border remains open, but a new political line is drawn.